Yo. What's up? Welcome to the podcast. It's a beautiful day to crash your car because we've got a map to run.
Dreamweaver. Gonna crash my car into a pedestrian today.
We've got 2024 deaths on the map.
Right on the map.
It is 420. 2026. And we've got new deaths on the map. We're swimming in single dollar bills. We got him, listener. You've been begging for him. We've got a full year of data to analyze today. We are thrilled for a jam-packed episode of looking to the past, looking to the future, and discussing how we can take back the streets. I'm your Auntie Lucas Riley, and that's Big Daddy Ben Carnero on the keys. And this is Are You Into Bus Stuff, the only comedy podcast about dying in traffic. That sounds mad dissonant over here. Similar
Siri,
to how I feel about
where's my wife?
our transportation infrastructure.
Siri, why am I so lonely? We have 40,000 new traffic deaths on the website, people. How many new traffic deaths? Let me pull up my notes. How many new traffic deaths?
How many?
My only regret is that it isn't 525,600. So then I could sing it like it's a rent.
525,600 people.
Yeah, so we added 39,254 traffic deaths to the map. That's 1 year, a single year of preventable deaths. So today being 420, the best day of the year, I feel like it's only appropriate to put it in the number of columbines that represents, right?
Quantos columbines, Ben? Quantos columbines?
Because today is the anniversary of Columbine.
See.
You know, speaking of, I saw a trench coat at the thrift store the other day. Don't come to school tomorrow. Let me see.
Colorado, Denver, like the Denver metro area, Denver suburbs, Aurora, Lakewood, Littleton. We have some pretty high profile because Columbine was in Littleton. We had the Dark Knight incident, of course. That was in Aurora. And also every day on our streets, people are getting mowed down to the tune of how many Columbines, Ben?
Well, if my calculations are correct, that would be 3,019 Columbines just last year, or just in 2024. That's a Columbine. How many? One sec.
How many Columbines to measure a year?
That's 8 1/4 Columbines a day, or
8 1/4 Columbines every day all year.
Yeah, or a third of a Columbine an hour.
So 1 Columbine every 3 hours.
1 Columbine. That's 1 Columbine every 3 hours, just from cars. And I mean, you can feel however you'd like to about that. We don't judge on this podcast. We're here to profit from America's roadway safety crisis. We're here to profit from America's failures in public investment.
We goon to it. We profit from it. And you're here slurping it up.
We make money from it. We're slurping it up. We're gooning and we're slurping it up. It's just what we do here at Roadway Report. The only traffic death map for the whole United States. We're gooning and we're gooning and we're slurping it up. We're gooning and we're gooning and we're slurping it up.
What?
You know that one.
I do, yeah. That was a good transposition. I was verifying some deaths in my neighborhood. There was a motorcycle accident that I remember from a couple years ago, and it is there. That's like, I don't know. I have to cross Colorado Boulevard to get to it, but if I didn't have to cross Colorado Boulevard, I could probably walk there in like 6 minutes. So very close to home. A guy got mowed over. He was riding his motorcycle kind of crazy, and crunch.
So I've got a few figures for you death map heads at home. So now, Roadway Report contains, it's a database containing records for 2,079,954 dead Americans. And so depending on who you ask,
people, right? Because not all deaths presumably are Americans. Some foreigners must die.
Some foreigners, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
And we need more foreigners to get mowed down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for real. 2,079,994 Americans, or Americans and the occasional foreigner, are in the death database. That is 1,871,000 crashes. The most bicycle deaths in United States history was in 2023. There's about, of the 2,079,000 in the database, only about 900,000 are on the map. Just food for thought, right?
Yeah, and much of the data, all of the 2003 data, 2001 data does not contain geo data. Is that true?
Yeah, it's like partial for 2001, and everything before that is like a no-no. We have 50 years of crash data thanks to Ralph Nader. The NHTSA is like 50 fucking years old. Well, it's like slightly older, right? Like the agency was created, and then they created the database that Roadway Report is built on, right? So the agency is just over 50 years old, and we have 50 years of data releases for the same database, which is pretty fucking incredible, honestly. It's like so old in database terms. It's got to be in like the top 99th percentile.
It's not bad, yeah. I mean, was all the data in like a digitized database, in a computer database in the 70s? Or at what time was it transposed, do you know?
I think it was a computer. I mean, potentially it could have been paper records, and then they brought it onto... But fuck me, man. When I was getting into the database and sort of There's a lot of things in its design that feels like it was designed in the 1970s. But that could just be somebody working in the public sector in like the 2000s. You never know.
Yeah. It could be someone working in the public sector now. I recently was introduced to a resource that the Oklahoma Department of Transportation keeps, and their map is maybe more interesting. It contains different levels of detail about each crash type, like fatal crash versus severity level 4 versus severity level 3, et cetera, et cetera. And it's just like, I look at it and I'm amazed at the level of detail, but I wonder how it connects to their Vision Zero plan. And then you read the Vision Zero plans that these types of agencies put out, and they are so overwrought and complicated and full of language. They're like 80 pages long. And it's like, all that we need to do is make the street narrower, make the car lighter, make the car go less fast, take space away from cars and give space back to people. Like it's that simple. And I'm just amazed. And that's what I love about the death map, is that it is sheer, it's blatant, it's in your face. It tells you, here's the data. People are dying every day out there. We accept this as a cost of doing business. And hip, hip, hooray. We make $1 every time. We're not taking advantage of you. We're not tricking you into thinking we're making the streets safer. At least we're doing an honest business.
You hear that? You hear that, listener? It's the sound of the Federal Highway Administration doing a Columbine on your community.
On your kids.
There are technologies out there. The big cuck automakers, one of the things that they push is that they like to scale the number of deaths for the number of vehicle miles traveled, right? And there's one of the flaws intrinsic in using vehicle miles traveled as a way to represent the utilitarian benefit of car world or car-based transportation is that it's a more accurate way to scale it is likely passenger miles traveled, right? The number of person miles traveled is slightly more akin to the amount of utility that a transportation system provides rather than like VMT, because the person miles traveled per vehicle mile traveled in a car is like 1.1, and then the PMT per VMT in a train is something like 50.
Depends on how many people are on it.
There are competing technologies that exist, right? Like bicycles and the buses and trains.
Hell, pogo stick.
Well, yeah, it's like there are competing means of transportation that are comparably convenient in the urban environment that will only kill 2 orders of magnitude less people per unit of actual utility, which is person mile traveled. It's just so inexcusable that 100% of our public investment is into the mode of transportation which is the maximally violent towards society.
Measuring the utility of a system based on individual vehicle miles traveled assumes that vehicle miles traveled is a good thing. And I think that there's enough people out there right now that they know that vehicle miles traveled is not a good thing. People say, oh, I wish I didn't have to drive my car so far. Oh, I wish there was a viable option. I wish there was an alternative. Oh, man, yeah, we got to stop driving. Climate change. Like, people are saying that all the time. Well, and we know that vehicle miles traveled is not a positive thing. So why do we accept in our scientific models that it's a source of truth and an indicator of success? Like we have to connect our lived experience with our pseudoscience, which is what I'm calling, traffic engineering.
I think it just boils down to who's funding the models. Every safety research organization, every safety research professional is funded in some way or another by one of the large automakers or somebody with a vested interest in positive automobile outcomes. For example, right now there's a conference going on. It's called, let me Google this real quick. The Lifesavers Conference on Roadway Safety. So this is like a bunch of traffic safety professionals and essentially like law enforcement agencies that are meeting right now in Baltimore. And if you pull up their sponsors, AAA, Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. So it's AAA, the insurance think tank, the Governor's Highway Safety Association, which is the like state highway patrol think tank, the Washington Traffic Safety Commission, the National District Attorneys Association, Advocates for Highway and Auto Safety, the NTSB, the Ohio Department of Transportation, who denied our public information requests, the NHTSA. So it's like every single person who touches this safety space is just by virtue of like participating in trade shows. It's just wherever you look, all the money, anything that funds like freeway safety research is Ford. It is GM, right? It all comes back to this idea that if they can get ahead of it by funding research that makes the car safer, right? They set the framing that the solution to the problem is to make the car safer, right? Not to remove the car from the urban environment. And it's so successful. I mean, they've completely succeeded in this endeavor, right? They've set the framing. They've made it normal.
Well, it's similar to how we here at Roadway Report have partnered with the National Rifle Association to honor the fallen students of Columbine.
It really is like that.
We would like to say a hearty thank you to the good people at the National Rifle Association for standing up and saying, we need to do something about this violence.
Like the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety is a conglomeration of people who make money off of when cars crash into each other at preferably high speeds. It's so sad. No, so I don't know. I'm super cynical about all of this. I forget what my train of thought was, though. I don't know. Someone like posted a slideshow from the event to LinkedIn today, and it's like I bet
there were some hotties. Tell me there were hotties.
It's a data visualization of how they want to solve roadway violence, and none of the. It's like it's an octagon, and none of the 8 sections of the octagon are like you could reasonably expect to prevent roadway violence.
I do like that they're meeting in the cage in the octagon.
So the one, let's just start. It says re-engage law enforcement. Okay, that's not going to do shit.
Shoot people before they can get run over.
Expand pre-hospital blood transfusion programs.
What?
So okay, here's the thing. This is one of those things, like all the stuff they focus on, which, if done effectively, can reduce fatalities by 5%.
But they can't reduce the trauma from getting clipped and almost killed and then having to get a blood transfusion at the hospital, let alone being able to afford it.
Well, right, but the whole point of like Waymo, the whole point of seatbelt is like we can make the dangerous thing marginally safer, and we need to focus on marginal improvements to the safety of the elephant in the room. And we can't get rid of the elephant in the room. We cannot remove the elephant from the room.
Because our children keep dying.
And so it just kind of falls into that bucket of things which on paper do improve your relative safety. However, in a world where the number of vehicle miles exponentially increases in perpetuity, you know, it will pale in the face of the growth. The third one says leverage state highway safety offices. The fourth one, mobilize a national partnership strategy. Reduce excessive speeding. Okay, I guess that one counts. Increase occupant protection use, so make more people wear seatbelts. Eliminate distracted driving. We're pro-distracted driving. And prevent impaired driving. So again, all of these things, especially the last 4, are like, again, on paper, these things do prevent some traffic deaths. And like, of course, yes, marginal gains are good.
Okay, well then why won't you wear a helmet?
Because I'm not fucking dumb as fuck. I don't want to look like a bitch.
Why are you still traumatized by the fact that your mom made you wear a helmet?
I'm not going to wear a helmet.
Have you talked to anyone about this?
What's wrong? What's wrong with you? Don't be a pussy.
What's wrong with you is that we love you and we don't want to see you get hurt.
Don't be a pussy.
We love you and we don't want to see you get hurt, listener.
Be a pussy. You can wear a helmet if you want, but, you know.
I support Ben's right to not wear a helmet. However, it does make me scared. Sometimes when you tell me that you're blasting it and you're, just you just shotgunned a steel reserve and took a dab straight to the dome and you're like, yeah then I was booking it. And this driver drove by me and was pissed off. And I'm like, well, you were high as a kite, buddy.
It's called good time maxing, not long time maxing, okay?
YOLO, baby. Spring break.
You can do all these things that marginally increase your safety, or you can just avoid cars, right? Like, one of the lessons of Deathmap is if you just stay out of the way, if you just stick to very low volume places, it's basically impossible to die, regardless of all the stuff you do around the margins, like wear a helmet and get trashed.
But that isn't practical advice. I have to get to work.
Yeah.
And getting to work necessitates crossing a 7-lane road.
Right, and that's when you got to look alive, and that's where the risk is.
And maybe wear a helmet, right? Like,
no,
it's a mitigating factor. It might save me, and it might save my wife from losing me, right?
Look, that guy on Guad and Denson that we talked about the other week, that was as close as where you're really going to find to a traffic death where the guy might have survived if he had just worn a helmet. Because he's just going straight, and he's trying to just proceed straight through the intersection. And then the police report reads that somebody turned through his, they had like a yellow left, and they turned through the lane. And it said that he went over the hood, but the bicycle was bent. So, and he hit his head, became a vegetable, died 10 days later. And so it's like, well, yeah, that's probably an instance where he might have lived if he had been wearing a helmet.
Right, if his cabeza had not gotten cracked open like a coconut.
But it's like he
calabacita.
Didn't get a head trauma because he was hit. I mean, he got a head trauma because he was hit by a car, right? But
Yes, and he died from that head trauma maybe because he was not wearing a helmet?
He died from the head trauma probably because he was going pretty fast. And that's my take. Is like, if you really want to prevent injury, moderate your speed, don't get hit by a car. And I would argue that the helmet can make you feel safer than you are.
Yeah, don't let it do that, listener. It's hugging your head. It's reminding you that you're gay. Don't let it make you feel so secure in yourself and your homosexuality and your queerness that you can just sail as fast as you want, because you're still the bug, and there's still a windshield, quite literally.
My point is that you are not safe, no matter what you do. So you might as well have fun, and you don't have to look like a bitch.
I agree. I've grown a little old of you saying that wearing a helmet is gay. I've been noticing more and more hot people out in the world that are wearing helmets and that are like nice people and are like clearly trying to do their best.
It's because but it's like
I just think you're wrong, and I think it's a little gross.
I understand that people want to feel safe because it's terrifying out there. I think we're pretending, and there's no need to pretend that it helps.
No, but we're also acknowledging that it's dangerous.
It is dangerous out there, but I don't think that. Again, I just don't want to send a signal that riding a bike is a dangerous thing to do, because it's not.
We run the death map. Riding a bike through a city in my neighborhood is a dangerous thing to do. It's not likely that I'm going to get hit, right? But in my daily turns about town, it is possible.
What I'm saying is
and if that helmet saves me from my wife not having someone to take care of her and come home to, I don't know, dude. I just think it's an interesting hill to die on. I think that if we're interested in being inclusive to all the gooners out there who are scared to get on a fucking bike, we should tell them that they look fucking sexy in that helmet.
Why lie to them?
I don't know. Is it a lie? Some people are into helmets, bro. Don't kink shame.
No, I mean, you get it, right? Why lie? It's not cool. We do look dumb. we're grasping to whatever.
Again, this is where I'm like, why do you feel this way? Because your mother told you to wear a helmet. Like, yes, we got teased as kids when we wore helmets. It isn't inherently ugly or weird to wear a helmet.
It is.
You are propagating a mindset that makes people feel bad for trying to do something that scares them.
It just doesn't help. I mean, it's just another thing that is marginal. It's just something that's very marginal, and you can't really prove that it helps a ton.
I agree that the government should not invest any time or money in trying to get people to wear helmets or encouraging the use of helmets for safety mitigation. I just don't think that the argument that you look gay and that you're uncool is funny or
First of all, it's hilarious. Second of all, it's still more true than wear a helmet and you will be a safe road user. You know, like, it's so...
That's fair.
So bad. It's anything is more true than the prevailing narrative, which is like, if you just use hand signals and you wear high visibility clothing and you get bike lights and you are always completely sober and you wear a helmet, then you will be a safe road user. But no, people will still run you off the fucking road, intimidate you, harass you, not see you, try to fucking kill you.
Exactly. So if someone's going to try to fucking kill me, shouldn't I wear a fucking helmet
on my
so
head?
You
look dumb? What's it
like,
going to do? What's it going to
yourself.
fucking do? Again, Paul died, and he hit his head going pretty fast, and that sucks.
It is the simplest piece of equipment that you could wear that would have the highest chance of saving your life, or mitigating your injuries to the point where they weren't like life changing.
I personally would argue that device would probably be bike lights before anything else.
Sure. I mean, like, on your physical person. And one of the reasons why I like wearing my helmet is because it has a light on the back of it. So it makes me visible to people behind me. It's like a bright red light on the back of it.
So funny. So funny that you got your jimmies rustled. You got your jimmies rustled by the bit. I mean, it is sort of a bit, and it's sort of not a bit. Yes, it's low effort rage bait. I mean, so it's okay. My
jimmies are not rustled. I'm giving your character an opportunity to double down and triple down. We're making content.
The country with the lowest rate of helmet use is the country with the lowest rate of traffic deaths.
So that's the only statistic that matters to me in the long run. It can
only matter so much, right? It can only have so much impact on your health and safety outcomes. It has an inverse correlation. And I mean, the Netherlands is an outlier. But if I want to impart anything upon the listener from a roadway safety perspective, it's don't get hit by a fucking car. That's it. That's your only objective. The lines on the road aren't real. The laws aren't real. The lights aren't real. Nothing is real except being crushed into the fucking pavement. Being polite doesn't matter. What other people are thinking or want you to do doesn't matter. Nothing is real except being hit by a car. And I mean, like, from the bottom of my heart, if I want to impart anything to the listener.
And I would remind them that, yes, that's true. It is the only thing that could mean that you don't come back from your ride. And so you should practice every precaution against letting that happen. Whether you're wearing a helmet or knee pads or a bike light or a condom or whatever. I mean,
you can wear a helmet if you're fucking bursting around town, going all fast and shit. It's like if you fall off your bike going more than 12 miles an hour, you could incur some kind of severe head injury on a bicycle or a scooter. But like, you could also just not fall. I've fallen off my bike, 100 times? I'm still here.
Yeah, but our map shows that there's, I don't know how many how many bicycle fatalities are there now on the
So if
death
you
map.
go to roadway.report / pedestrian fatality, or let me say pedestrian safety, it's pedestrian _ safety.
Oh, this is, yeah.
So go to bicycle
never mind, it's
deaths.
the same.
So it was 1401 in 2023 and then 1374 in 2024. But you'll see the blue line is the moving average, and the moving average is still skyrocketing.
Yeah, significantly.
So in
Pedestrians' deaths down year over year.
yeah,
Nice.
well, we'll talk about that. So in the last 20 years, bicycle deaths have doubled in America. And then, per pedestrian deaths, the moving average has flatlined. And then for a couple years, the number of pedestrian deaths has decreased. We're hovering at around 7,300, 7,400. Granted, the last time it was down in the 2000s and stuff. The last time it was at 7,400 would have been 1984. So pedestrian deaths have gone up maybe 70-80% in the last decade, and we're at levels we haven't seen since the mid 80s. That's the real take. Because if you listen to the think tanks that write articles about roadway safety, they'll tell you that pedestrian deaths are down 9% year over year, right? But you got to zoom out. You got to look at the long-term trends. The moving average has simply stopped going up for a single year. Probably two. It looks like we are seeing a little bit of a correction, but I would hold off on making any judgments, right? It could just be a correction in a larger trend of increasing. The NHTSA published some stuff saying that basically the fatality rate per vehicle mile has gone down a lot in the last year, but I don't know how they estimate VMT. Because, I don't know, I mean, I think the average person can feel the economy shifting, right? I think the average person can definitely sense the purse strings tightening of the average American. So I wouldn't be surprised if VMT were already dipping, even before the stock market takes a hit, I guess.
How direct is the correlation with the price of a gallon of gas? I guess in 2011 it was very expensive, wasn't it?
I forget.
Especially against inflation. Curious if there's any correlation or any relationship.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, bro, look at the bike deaths. Like that, it's still just shooting up. And maybe that's one of the things that's driving the reduction in car deaths, right? Like if let's just say
more people are biking.
Let's just say you took 10% of all drivers and put them on a bike. The number of bike deaths would go up, and the number of overall deaths would go down.
Yeah, that's a very true fact. And even if you displaced, 8% to bicycles and 2% to pedestrians, no realistic correlation between the price of crude oil and either pedestrian or bicycle deaths on the roadways. I think it's a contributing factor to vehicle miles traveled. But again, vehicle miles traveled is not the best way to measure this crisis. This is human lives we're talking about. Is it good that car go fast, car go far? Or is it good that everybody survive? That, our fourth grade friend in Round Rock survives?
He did. So, I mean, we talk a lot about things that don't matter, right? Like, we're talking shit about helmets, for instance. Talking shit about fucking police enforcement, stuff that isn't necessarily empirically linked to lower rates of roadway death. However, there are some trends which we can talk about which are linked with roadway death, right? Like overall, being in a high income area tends to work in your favor. Being in an urban area is a major one. Like you're almost 5 times as likely to die in transit living in a rural area than you are living in an urban area. You definitely don't want to be a pedestrian or a cyclist. That tends to not work in your favor.
Ride a motorcycle.
Oh, yeah. 1 in 4 of the deaths are motorcycles, and 1% of all road users are motorcyclists. So I think that speaks for itself.
And those people wear helmets, they look cool, and they get laid.
Yeah, it's all sex right up until the moment you die.
So, hey, take it or leave it.
That is how I want to go out. And then another fairly significant trend is the death rate per person is pretty different by state. Basically, it really just boils down to if your state funds transit, the death rate is significantly lower. The safest place to be is New York or New Jersey.
Where's the best place to see that?
We don't have anything on roadway report that does it by state. We just have counties. But if you just look it up, U.S. states death rate by population.
I feel like that should be a feature of the roadway report site.
Okay, well, you build it.
No, I know. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just saying.
Let me get a drink. 1 sec. 39,254 innocent people. Well, maybe not all innocent.
How many columbines to measure a year?
In columbines, in holocausts, in 9/11s. Oh, I could just list every terrorist attack. Could you think you could get ChatGPT to list all the terrorist attacks in a parody of that song?
Huh, that would be a pretty long list. I won't sit here and name them all, but if you want to research one in particular to see if there's something we can do to prevent violence, I'd be happy to help.
Here's a few of my favorite terrorist attacks. Hey, you're right for pushing back on that.
That's why I love Ben. I can give him shit for his position on helmets, and he just keeps fighting. He's not like, you know what, thanks, Lucas. I hadn't considered that perspective.
No, because of course Of course I should wear a helmet. Of course. Because it's like, yeah, you're never going to see everything, right? And it's stupid to think that you're the only person who doesn't make mistakes, right? We all have momentary lapses in judgment, and it's just one momentary lapse in judgment that stands between you and your untimely demise, between you and your entirely preventable death. And it's just, I just think it's sort of rare that the thing that stands between you and that untimely death is a helmet. Like, it's possible. It just happened to a guy named Paul here in Austin, up the street from my house. But usually you get, like, crushed when you get hit by a car, or like, I think
part of the crux of it, and like you're touching on it, is that when someone hears about about someone who happens to get their head cracked and they die in their neighborhood, they think, oh my God, what a tragedy. They have empathy, right? At least, I mean, my friends, my people, like, were like, what the fuck? This hurts. Like, this sucks. And it's an easier way out emotionally to get to move on with your day, to say, oh, if only he was wearing a helmet. When, like, the righteous response is to take hands with your neighbor, pull them out of their goon cave, drag them out into the street, and take it back. Like, that's the only response that makes any sense, is to take the streets back from the violent elements in it, from the motor vehicles, from the piggy drivers oinking for it. But instead, people take the easy way out and they say, oh, well, if only he'd been wearing a helmet. And then they drive to work because it's, massively more convenient for them, and they got to make their own way, and they got to find a way through the world. So I appreciate your righteous position about not wearing a helmet. But
I mean, it is dumb. I don't want to die, but I don't think that's going to... I mean, from everything that I know about the subject, I don't think that's what's going to stand between me and my untimely death. I just don't. Yes, there's just a certain amount of risk. It's like you're not entirely safe, and I'm roughly as safe as I would otherwise be wearing a helmet or otherwise. That's all.
Yep. Yeah. No, 100%. 100%.
It's like, yeah, there are situations where it could happen, right? Of course. But you can avoid a lot of those if you moderate your speed and you avoid traffic.
Woof, man, things are rough in Travis County, Texas. I'm looking at the 2024 data.
Really?
At roadway.report /county dashboard. I selected Texas and then Travis. And yeah, yikes, bro. It's, I guess the population has also gone up a fair bit.
Not really. the population's been going up in the other counties. Oh, I guess, yeah, East Austin is mostly Travis.
But non-motorist roadway deaths down 2023 to 2024. It's
Well,
lower
that's
than
good.
it's been
That is
since
good.
2019.
Well, okay, think about it this way. Look at the moving average. So the moving average is 53 in 2024.
So hopefully it'll
highest
hold.
all time. It's still stuck, and like look how the moving average it's only gone down like 2%.
Well, yeah, 2022, a bunch of people died, and I mean, more than 40 people have died every year since 2019, which is pretty significant.
This number could keep going up. Where's bikes? Pedestrians. Yeah, we have pretty good bike numbers, man.
Yeah, not too bad. Maximum of 6 in 2020 and 2023.
That
Not
better
so bad.
not be me. Probably so pissed if that's me.
I
If it's
will.
me, okay, listener, if I get hit by a car, I don't want a foundation. I don't want none of that shit. I don't want a fucking charity bike ride. I want you to find the person that hit me, and I want you to kill them. I want you to get them back. I want revenge. And nothing short of it.
Yeah, I mean, you talk a lot of shit about Denver, biking in Denver, and only had 1 bike death in 2024. Not too bad. 2022 had 6. It's very comparable to Austin. Fewer non-motorist deaths as a whole, and a higher population. How many people in Austin proper now?
It's like 1 million or something. So deaths are down even further for 2025. The NHTSA didn't publish whether or not that includes a decrease in pedestrian fatalities. It doesn't, and just by virtue of the press release not saying that, it kind of leads me to believe that they didn't decrease. But from what we can tell, traffic deaths total are down like 10-20% just in the last 4 or 5 years, which is a decent correction. I'd love to see a 100% reduction in traffic deaths.
But perhaps there's hope that, as we have inspired you out there, listener, to take back the streets, that maybe you've made an impact.
If I know one thing, it's that we haven't made an impact. 2 million dead Americans, 1.87 million fatal crashes in our database. Most bicycle deaths in U.S. history, 2023. 900,000 dead Americans mapped. 50 years of dead Americans. 821,057 crashes on the death map. Most pedestrian deaths since 1983. 525,600 death map.
How many death maps
And how many
can you make in
columbines?
a year?
Hitler's birthday, how many columbines, how many holocausts? So it was 8.27 columbines a day, depending on how you count it.
In columbines, in Sandy Hooks.
How many people do you want to call the Holocaust? Ballpark.
Don't they say like 6 million Jews?
So it's a third of a Holocaust in the database. How many more years? So another 150 years, and we'll have a veritable Holocaust of roadway violence. We're well
I think
on
that's
our
what
way.
we're counting down to on this podcast. I mean, we'll be sitting on a pretty penny.
Oh, bro, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that check. Man, North Carolina can get fucked. We forgot the first rule of being canceled.
Which is,
If you just don't care, you can't be canceled.
what do you mean?
That's the first rule of being canceled. You say, you can't cancel me, government.
I see. That's the first rule about getting canceled. I see.
You say, you can't cancel me. I've got the people.
Yep. I've got the support of the Gooner Army, and I don't care what you normies think.
The Gooners will be free. The Gooners will not subside to your whims, government, IRS, CIA. You can't feminize my children.
You can't feminize my children with a Toyota Tacoma. Make them think they can't get somewhere on their own 2 feet.
Okay, yeah, that's all my notes. Yeah, we had a lot of new traffic deaths in the site. This is just our little celebration.
I have been taking some meetings and assisting with a project, trying to advocate for bus rapid transit on Colorado Boulevard here in Colorado. There's a petition that we can throw in the show notes that basically we're going to advocate. There's 3 designs that they've drawn. The first is dedicated center running BRT with a lot of improvements. That will take away 2 lanes of car traffic from Colorado Boulevard. The second design is side running, so like on the edge of the road running, on the far opposite edges of the road running BRT, which is slightly less, I think, sexy to most of us, but it does still take a lane away from cars on the road. It would be a dedicated, separated lane. And then the third design is essentially just like priority signaling and like new buses and like some extra paint on the roads and signals and stuff. So we're pushing to try to get people to sign our petition to say, we don't care as long as you take a lane of roadway away from cars and give it to buses. It's fun like doing this work and talking to more people, because there's bike folks who are like, I'm not signing it unless you're going to put bike racks in front of my favorite bar. And there's drivers that are like, I mean, how do we, like, what do I say if someone says that it's going to make their commute longer? And it's just interesting outside of the space of this pod to be engaging in the work. But wish us luck. I think that this is a actual opportunity to take space away from motor vehicles, literally in my backyard. So you could sign the petition if you want. It's it'll be in the link.
You can't, when you're at a community meeting, you can't do the things we do on this podcast, like be like, well, if your commute's going to be longer, well, then you should get stronger, you fat little pig boy. Oinky, oink, oink, piggy, piggy, piggy. Pig boy, pig boy.
Precisely.
You want to squeal? Do you want to squeal for your lane back? You want to squeal for another lane?
I mean, even if you take a good tone, even if you say, well, isn't a human life more valuable than the 2 minutes on your commute or your 2-minute drive down to the ballpark, when there's a bus that you could take that gets you there just as fast and costs a quarter the price of parking your car? Like, you could make real arguments, but the second that you say, isn't a life more important, people get mad defensive. People are like, that's not me. If only people would wear their helmets.
Yeah, it's like, maybe you shouldn't kill people. Maybe you shouldn't choose the fattest, most murderous option to get to the store. No, and I mean, by and large, it's not like people want to be big, fat, murderous assholes. It's that society is built to force this method of consumption. And we're graced by fairly nice urban environments in which we can live our urban lifestyles, our extremely urban lifestyles.
Yes, exactly.
But a lot of people are like living in the fucking sticks, living in the Burberinos, working at a Walmart 13 miles away, making $16 an hour, just totally like Stockholm syndromed into loving their Toyota.
And everybody deserves dignity, and everyone deserves the opportunity to live a life unshackled by the 2-ton machine. And we could make that world. We could make that world. No,
it's true, but your ability to support an income doesn't. You don't have a right to like drive through my neighborhood being loud as fuck, polluting my shit,
killing my neighbors.
There are negative effects of transportation infrastructure in your community, as evidenced by white people not having any transportation infrastructure through their community. It's like any community with political capital is able to prevent this because it's just so wildly negative. Such a wildly negative presence.
Yeah, it's a foundational aspect of like environment as well. It's not only happening, it's like agentic and environmental. You know what I mean? It gives a feeling, and it sets a scene, and it sets a tone for what is possible. And that is extremely limiting and shackling for a lot of people. And that's why we got to take back the streets, baby. Oh, I've been thinking about taking back the streets tonight. Just a thinking about taking back the streets in the dead of night.
The dead of night. That's right, Lucas. That's right. That's right, baby doll. All right, we got this. We got this. Don't let the music die, Daddy-O.
Can you do a 525,000? Do you have that?
No, I don't have that one in my bag.
In columbines, in sandy hooks, in auroras and Uvaldes.
That's my favorite one. My favorite one is the one where the cops just stood there. Because that's what I would do if I were a cop.
You would be a terrible
I would be
cop.
the worst cop.
Do not comply.
Gooners. Gooners. Gooner army, fight the power. Do you wanna be free? Gooner army, fight the power. Will you come with me? Do you want to take back the streets tonight? Do you want to be free? Will you follow me to the light, Gooner army? Do you want to be free? Do you want to be free? Do you want to come with me in the night? I'm dangerous for you. I don't know what that means.
Yes.
Okay, we can get you in on this. We can get you in on
want to be free.
this. That's good, that's good.
Yes. Ben, we want to be free.
Here, you got it. You got it.
Yes.
Come on. Yep.
Yes. We want to be free. I said.
Goonerinos. Gooners. Gooners.
Yes.
Take back the streets.
We
Gooners.
want
Gooners.
to
Take
be
back the
free.
Freedom. I'm here, yeah. You hit me with the freedom, and then I'll do a little ba-ba scoobity-bee.
You want me to just freedom?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, the idea is there, but I'm just really... I'm more of a big picture guy.
Well, you're the big picture guy, but you got a website full of details. Listener, go to roadway.report. Go explore the 2024 data. There are now 2,076,000 deaths on the death map for you to swim through and figure out how to fix this and tell your, piggy neighbor to get out of their car.
Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of people who are mad about fucking bike helmets.
Maybe don't run me over.
Maybe be mad at your local transportation engineers and urban planners. Maybe be mad that you live 15 miles away from work.
15 miles away from work, and also 15 miles away from, if you're lucky, from the crick, Because, don't fool yourself into thinking you're living a rural existence when you drive through for, 3/4 of your meals.
I think we're going to take a break next week. I think we're not going to pod.
Yeah, I think we've done it. Last week was awesome with Pondless. If you didn't get a chance to listen, go check that out. Pondless had some hot takes on Robert Moses's Cold Corpse and Hot Ghost, and among other things. And we played some of his music.
So last week we had Pondless. This week we've got Dickless.
This week we've just got Rent covers and new deaths on the map.
New deaths on the map. Nah, bro, dude, I don't want to get hit by a car. I don't want to get got. I don't remember, guys, if they get me, you have to kill whoever did it. It doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter who it is. That's my only last will and testament. Revenge.
It's on the record.
I just want revenge.
Well, I think that's a good place to leave it. So, go through the back catalog while you're thirsting for more and more content. Oink for it. Let us know that you want us to keep making it. But go through the back catalog and, tell us what you think. I'm your Auntie Lucas Riley. That's Big Daddy Ben Carnero. This is Gooner Wars, a.k.a. Are You Into Bus Stuff, the only comedy podcast about traffic deaths. I'm signing off for a little while. It feels good.
This is Ben Carnero. I'm Lucas Riley. Thank you for listening to Gooner Wars, the only comedy podcast about gooning in traffic. We'll see you next week.
I'm Lucas Carnero, and Ben was a podcast written by comedy on traffic deaths, the only comedy death about traffic podcasting.
My name is Gunnar McGoober. I was born to podcast. I'm going to come. Good luck and good night.
Ta-ta for now.
Good luck and good night. Don't email my wife. Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Come on. I said smoke weed every day. I said smoke weed every day.